Hey everybody, welcome to Cooking with Cory. Today we're going to do breakfast. We're going to make scrambled eggs and we're going to make hash browns. That's going to be delicious.
Alright, first we're going to pour in some olive oil instead of using Pam. And that's probably way too much. I'll just reach in front of the camera. Next, we're going to take our hash browns. These have been in the freezer since I moved in here. So they're well aged, you know, aging your hash browns is pretty important. And we're just gonna pour as much as you think you need. But you all know how to make hash browns because it's not very hard. So we'll mostly focus on the eggs this episode or whatever, and you can just move these with your cookie manipulator and cook them. We'll spice them up. So these hash browns are basically cooked. I just have them on low to stay warm. So to make them delicious, we're just going to add some more olive oil so they get nice and greasy. But only a little bit because we're going to want our spices to stick onto them. And then we're going to take some pepper and just grind some in here. Pepper them good. If you put in too much olive oil, you're just going to have a greasy soup of whatever spices you put in. So just add enough to like liquefy, well, make the hash browns slide around better, you know? Alright, now we're just gonna move this around so it's all fine. And then we're gonna leave these and start on the eggs. Bam, looks delicious, smells delicious. Alright, so we're gonna do our eggs now. So I learned this from a video from Gordon Ramsay. So I'll probably put a link to that in the comments. Watch that, it's gonna be better. But first, we're just gonna throw in some butter. And that's going to melt in here. I have it on medium heat. And this is going to be a good exercise in controlling the heat of what you're cooking. We're just using our green little spatula here. I don't know. It's nice. Works for this well. Works well for this. Cool. So our butter's melting. Since I'm cooking for 2 people, both Clay and I, we're going to do about 6 eggs. We're just going to crack them in. And we might want to take this off the heat because you don't want your eggs to instantly cook once they touch the bottom, because that's going to screw up your scrambled eggs. And this is a very like hands-on method to making these. But they're going to turn out good, you know. If you put the time and effort into things, we're going to make something delicious. Whoops. As you can see, I can't really crack eggs worth shit. And you don't really have to go around and break the yolks. They're gonna break in our next step. Oh, I got a really nice egg shell in there. We'll take that out later. And 2 more. Bam. If you have a better method for cracking eggs, maybe tell me in the comments. Oh no. So I don't just like do this like an alien. Awesome. Cool. So we're just gonna stir this, and the butter's gonna mix in. Our eggshells, or sorry, our eggs are gonna fall apart, as you can see. Good. And while we're doing this, and while we're waiting for this to cook, we'll talk about how we shoot this show. So I started this on Snapchat. And I had a few stupid rules for shooting it. I do everything in one cut or one take, mostly because it's cooking and I don't have a time machine. So I can't really go back in time. And we're just going to keep stirring this, making sure that there's nothing sticking to the bottom. And so one cut. I don't really think ahead to what I'm doing. And I don't know if it's as much as a cooking show as an entertainment show. Like, you should probably learn how to cook what I'm cooking while watching. But I don't look at this as like a how to cook as much as it's supposed to be funny and awkward. So yeah, the awkwardness is intentional. But anyways, back to what we're doing. So I have this on medium heat. I might turn it up just a little bit. It's at about 6 now on our stove. And what we're waiting for is, if you've taken chemistry, the only way I can describe this is using chem terms, is we're waiting for egg to almost PPT out, like the substrate to form, and it's gonna stick to the bottom of this. And then we're gonna just keep on scraping it up the bottom of our pot here. And we also put in 6 eggs, so it'll take a little bit. You can kind of slow it down, and then it'll stick better. When I get a good bunch of egg stickage, I will show you. But until then, we're just gonna stir it. And you know, while you're doing this, we have the hash browns finished. If you just want to look at the hash browns, and we're just gonna leave them there. Whatever. We even have the heat off, because this might take a while. And come on, hash browns, go. I guess while we're doing this, I can plug what we did with the bread. So I cut some toast. We're gonna do this on toast, and it's pretty thick cuts. Whatever, the eggs are gonna go on it. And this bread is cornmeal bread that my mother makes. So you will not be able to buy it in stores. I don't know how to make it. I don't bake worth shit. So, and our eggs are getting nice and warm here. That's good. If you have like a gas stove that's giving you constant heat, you might have to take your pot off of the burner. Otherwise you'll heat up the eggs too fast and you'll screw yourself over. But we have an electric stove and it just kind of heats and pulses anyways. So we don't have to move it. Otherwise I'd be moving the pan around like that. That's how Gordon Ramsay does it in his videos. But we might be getting gold here. This kind of looks like an egg soup. Don't worry about eating raw eggs. I don't think that's really a problem. I've eaten, like if you go to a Japanese restaurant and you order an egg in your ramen, they'll literally just crack an egg in your ramen. I think if that was a problem, they would not be able to do that. So don't worry about these being cooked fully, but we'll talk about that when that's done. Alright, so we're starting to get a little bit of egg chunks. Maybe you can see it. So if you look around here, we are just scraping stuff off the bottom. Constantly scraping stuff off the bottom. And make sure it doesn't settle. And this is gonna make our eggs super fluffy and good looking. And they're also nice and yellow, which is pretty good. We're gonna add some milk pretty soon though. You know what? Let's add the milk right about now. See how they're still looking very watery and uncooked? So we're just gonna take it off the burner. Keep stirring it a little bit so they don't settle. And then just add a, I don't know, third of a cup of milk. Just a little bit. This takes a lot of practice actually. I make this almost every week. And I still sometimes screw up the milk adding. Because if you add it in too late, you just end up with a lot of like boiled milk. But if you add it on the time, it just kind of makes your eggs creamier, I would say. Gordon Ramsay suggests some like creme fraiche stuff. I don't know what that is. Sounds expensive though. And we're at about the 2-minute mark, I'm gonna say, of these eggs being done. So that means we're gonna start our toast. Bam. Cool. And these are looking not bad. Make sure you get the stuff off your spatula every once in a while so that gets cooked. Cool. And I like to make sure they're not super wet on the outside because that's how people kind of judge if their eggs are done. But at the same time, I've eaten egg drop ramen. And I made a Snapchat video about that. That was my first cooking with Cory. So I don't know if uncooked eggs is a huge issue in people's lives. But we're just going to, I think, take these off the burner. I think they are good. Cool. And since we had the hash browns cooling off, we're just going to give them a little heat now, if I can. So those are warm for when we're ready to plate. And we will do another cut. Right, so we're just going to plate now. So here's the toast. I like the crust piece, and I usually eat this over toast. Let's put it on top. You know, restaurants put a lot of time and effort into plating stuff. So we're also going to teach making stuff looking nice. Bam. Cool. We're going to take this. And here's a green onion. I just cut up one. I'm going to sprinkle that on top. Whatever, as much as you want. You could even mix it in the eggs. the cameraman not to know violently as I've done that. And then some pepper. Pepper on top. A little bit over here. Bam. Now you have some artistically looking eggs. And then hash browns. We can just throw some of these on. These aren't going to look as artistic. Bam. And you are good to go. We'll get back to you after we eat these. Alright, I finished my eggs and I'm going to put them in the sink. Cool. Okay, so that was Cooking with Cory, scrambled eggs. I also forgot to say this was a breakfast episode and I'm wearing my beautiful Muppet pajamas. So, I was super comfy while shooting this one, if that makes you feel better or worse about the quality of the video. Anyways, if you have any questions about cooking scrambled eggs, like, comment, subscribe, or don't, or just talk to me, because most of my viewers are people I know in real life. Alright, bye.